Hey guys, I don't know if you can see me all that well, hopefully you can. Doesn't really matter. I am here to rant. I'm a lot of things, and if there is one thing that I am, first and foremost, I'm a writer. And I'm a creative writing major, and so naturally that entails that I have a lot of creative writing workshops. And, I have I've got 4 a week, and we've been doing it for about 3 months now. I mean, you know, I've done a lot, so you know, it really piles up. And what I wanted to discuss today was, when you have large groups of people critiquing a work, where does the writer go? Because I think that, you know, a one-on-one critique is a lot more logical than, say, 1-on-13 or 1-on-20, you know, full class on one piece, because through other people's biases and preferences, you know, in terms of circumstance, in terms of genre, a lot of things get lost in translation, and the writer ends up feeling a lot more confused, and really, out of these 20 endnotes, out of these 13 endnotes, however many you get, there's only about 3 that are fairly substantial enough to use in revision. And so, what I effectively wanted to discuss is things that are, you know, within the elitist writer community, such as Purple Prose and Mary Sue's. So that'll be our two main topics today. And so, everybody knows that a Mary Sue is effectively an author who lives through their character. Bella Swan is said to be Mary Sue. Harry Potter is said to be Mary Sue. Any really strong, good main character is essentially said to be a Mary Sue in one way or another, because, you know, this and that and the other, they get away with too much, they don't have enough flaws, this and that. And, you know, cliches, that's another one. How, as writers, do we avoid these things? You know, you can only curtail them for so long, until you go to a point where you kind of have to lean to either one side or the other. And as a writer, I find that certain motifs, certain cliches are good to rehash, rework, otherwise contrive into these things, you know, stories. And what really ignited this for me was today I had, you know, a workshop, and my story was about 4 pages long. It was an exercise. That was just using the 5 senses, and there was a lot of it that there was an incredible amount of it that wasn't broadened, or you know, there wasn't a lot of depth for various reasons. I'm the kind of writer that likes to write things where the reader can interpret them in different ways. A lot of people think that if you leave too much interpretation open for the reader, that it's somehow blocking the meaning. You know, and I've kind of learned over the years and with critiques to kind of be aloof about it. Just, you know, for example, my friend John pointed out to me that I really like to use cutting and sharp things in my writing, and I do. In this particular piece, I was talking about the ocean and the angular rocks that were glistening in the sun, you know. And so this piece mainly focused on these memories of this woman, and she was leaving this person behind, and, you know, and I got a lot of questions as to whether this person died, or whether it was a breakup, or, you know, these other things, and I didn't really know. I was just writing, and a lot of the times I think that when you have peer reviews, that people really tend to, I don't want to say contrive, is contrive the right word? They tend to draw a lot of things out that you wouldn't otherwise thought to have been there. Like, my professor, for example, she noticed, you know, that I use wrists and sharp, you know, things, and I didn't outwardly say she was, like, slitting her wrists in a suicidal way. That wasn't even my intention, but she drew that out anyway. And so